of a space where parents, teachers, educators, and experts come together and connect about one common thing: education. Hi, I'm Vrinda, an educator, and at Dreamzspire, we truly believe learning happens जब किताबें बंद होती है and बातें शुरू। आज हमारे साथ है एक प्रिंसिपल, not only who leads a school but also a community of parents, teachers and students. प्रिंसिपल का रोल बहुत ही लेयर्ड होता है, इंस्पिरेशन भी, कंपैशन भी, लीडरशिप भी, डिसिप्लिन भी। आज इस एपिसोड में हम जानेंगे उनका नज़रिया, what it takes to truly run a school and how to handle parents and the non-academic staff. तो चलिए मिलते हैं आशा बीनू कुमार से, a principal at Abhay International School, and let's learn her story. This podcast is for parents, aspiring educators and leaders to know the peek into leadership. तो चलिए मिलते हैं डॉक्टर आशा बीनू कुमार से, a principal at Abhay International School, and let's learn about her story and her journey. Thank you, Ms. Asha, for joining us today. And we know about your experience. You've been in this field for 26 years, out of which 12 years you've been a principal. It's a lot of experience that you come with. And you hold a degree in education, you have an MA, you're pursuing your MPhil, a postgraduate degree. I can go on and on with your accolades. But today, I would like to begin with your journey as a student. How were you when you started as a child?
Thank you for this, very importantly, before I start. So let me begin with a very simple saying. Like, I started as an average student. So I am the perfect example that even an average student can do well in life.
Right.
And that's the message which I give to all the parents. Please give time to your children to grow.
It's such an important thing. Anyone can reach at a level that one could never imagine at an early stage. So, ma'am, if you could tell us about how your upbringing has been, and you spoke about how you've been like an average child, but how was your journey then, and what exactly you had in your mind as a child? That did you always wanted to be a principal, or you had a different plan before?
I started on a very humble note. I came from a very humble background, and whatever we are or whatever I am, it's only because of education. So, starting with a humble background, although I studied in a convent school and had the experience of studying in some good colleges, getting degrees, simultaneously working as a teacher, gave me a huge experience of how to handle children and work with them.
So, when you say that education has been with you since the beginning, so this career that you've chosen, was it always your choice, your personal choice, or sometimes, back then in the days, people used to say, teaching is an easy job, aap manage kar loge, and it's a half a day job, and then you can take care of home. So how was it for you? What was your thought then?
Basically, if you ask about whether I choose this profession, I should say the profession chose me.
Okay.
Because initially I didn't have any plan to join the teaching profession. That's a fact. But I was good into sports, and I think sports teaches us to manage things, to plan things, and to implement things in a better way.
Right.
So, beginning my journey, I should say I was very good in sports, and there was a spark that when I can handle my team as a player, I can do it in the long run as well.
So you have been a captain of your team or something like that?
Yes,
or?
yes, very
Oh,
true,
wow.
very true.
Great. Who was your inspiration or your role model when the beginning of your journey?
So I should say, rather than visualizing someone as a big personality, at every step I had some or the other role models.
Okay.
Whether beginning from my family, my parents who have struggled and brought us up, my brothers, or you can say post-marriage I continued my studies, I did my PhD.
Right.
So my husband, my kids, so the family is anyways there as a backbone, as a support.
Right.
And that is what we need when we really want to do something.
Right. So you have anyone in your family who's in the same profession or in the same field doing something similar as you, or you are one of the first members in your family doing this?
I was definitely the first member
Oh
who
wow.
entered this teaching profession.
Right.
But I know with these experiences, I have learned a lot, which my degrees have not taught me.
Right. You spoke about family, like your family has been your backbone. So, who do you feel is the most strongest support for you in your family in terms of pushing you to pursue or go a little more than where you are already? Like you're saying, you were still pursuing your studies post you got married. So, who was that one person, or maybe your maternal side or your paternal side, who was helping you or pushing you more to pursue what you were pursuing?
I think I was blessed that I got support from both the sides, my maternal side as well as my paternal side. But I remember doing my PhD, managing my school job, and of course, I had an elder son to be taken care of.
Right.
So I used to sit and study late at night after completing everything.
Right.
And then, of course, my better half,
Right.
who really used to sit to type the things for me so that I save my time in doing those things.
Right. That's great. That's really important to know when your family is there in your spot. Life becomes slightly easier doing that. I'm a teacher, and I sometimes think that, or most of my colleagues think that as a principal क्या ही काम होगा, cabin में बैठे रहते हैं and they have to just handle a few meetings. But that is our perspective as a teacher. But tell us something about what you think or what the world should know you are doing behind that door and sitting on that table all day.
Rightly said, you feel the principal sits on the chair
Right.
and, of course, just attends few meetings. But I know as a teacher, since I worked as a teacher, I know the struggles of teachers. I also know what are the struggles for the principal to ensure that everyone gives their best.
Right.
And for that, I need to constantly motivate myself. That self motivation should happen so that I'll be in a better position to motivate my team.
Right.
And definitely handling people is not the easy task, but definitely I try my level best how I can, keep and ensure everyone keep going and giving their best.
Right. Have you experienced any challenge in terms of the way the expectations keep changing from the board, and then you have parents, you have teachers, you have students coming and sharing their demands with you? So, if you could share one of those incidents or one of the challenges, and how did you overcome that?
In terms of challenges, of course, every day is a challenge for us. If something doesn't come to us, we doubt. I hope everything's going on the right track. But yes, handling the current generation, I've seen 25 batches passing out. But the trend that this generation has, the lack of concentration and attention span, that is something where we need to ensure that we involve the children in our day-to-day activities through experiential learning so that they don't feel the boredom of learning and make learning more interesting for them. Again, at the same time, parents are busy, working parents, and for them, school, of course, they feel everything has to happen in the school. But we ensure that we take the parents in confidence and talk to them, counsel them, that it is how we have to work together in the interest of the child, for the holistic development of the child.
Right. Uh, have you experienced a challenge when you joined a school as a principal, and say the culture is already set in a school, and say there was something that you identified that this is something that needs a quick fix, like a small change? So how was that taken? How was that perceived? Or maybe some challenges in adapting to the culture, how did you overcome that?
Given the fact that I have had the experience of working in a different uh, perspective or different schools, I have come across students coming from different categories, different family backgrounds. Similar is the case with the teaching fraternity. So, for me as an educator, I feel my teachers need to be empowered. And I think empowerment happens to the teachers by means of training and ensuring that they keep themselves upgraded to handle the current generation of students. So trainings, I feel trainings, workshops, these things are very, very important from the point of view of bringing up the team.
Okay.
So that if the team is upgraded, they will be able to handle.
So this was your challenge that you experienced in terms of to provide proper trainings to your teachers or the advanced training to your teachers. As a teacher or as a principal, sometimes we say it's very difficult to handle kids or teach students. But being from the same field, it's actually more of talking to your parents and training the parents or bringing them on the same page as we are. What are your thoughts on the same?
I think I'm blessed that I'm able to talk to the parents and explain them that we in the school are there only for the children. And I'm sure because when a parent takes or admits the child in the school, they have the trust in the school that the child will be taken care.
Right.
So first and foremost thing that I give assurance to the parents that your child, you drop your child at the gate or you drop your child in the bus. As the child enters the school, it's our responsibility. And definitely teachers are the causive parent for the child.
Right.
And that is something which keeps us, motivated that we need to be on our toes all the time.
You must have experienced varied parents coming from different backgrounds. So how did you try putting them on the same page? How was that for you?
I think that's a challenge for each and every principal. But I feel if we are able to gain the trust of the parents and we are able to convey a message to the parents that we are here for the children, and definitely suggestions are invited, suggestions will be invited, whatever goes in the interest of the children, definitely that will be picked up by the school.
And what is your approach to working with this diverse parent body? Is there a code? Have you cracked the code? Do you have something in mind?
I think that I'll keep it as a secret because definitely handling parents,
Right.
it is not the case of handling parents. I think a rapport building that should happen between school, we as educationists, and of course parents. So if there is a good rapport and we keep things very transparent to them, like there will be zero tolerance in terms of certain things, whether it's in discipline or any other things, and
Right.
100% assurance that we are working for the 360-degree holistic development of the child. I think that is where we can work together and give a better result.
Sure. So can I say that the code is build a good rapport and have transparency of what is happening? Can that be a code for our
Definitely
aspiring?
yes. Definitely yes. Because parents of this generation are very alert. They know what happens. They know how schools handle their children. If we have a good rapport, I think half of the battle is won.
Right. How do you build trust and collaboration between the academic and the non-academic staff? So when I say academic, I'm talking about teachers and students. When I talk about non-academic, we are talking about the admission team, the transport, the communication. How do you try and balance their trust and collaboration with each other?
So if you visit my school, you will not find me sitting full time in the cabin, first and foremost. Uh, I believe in getting involved in the work and giving the comfort to my team.
Right.
I don't believe in working in fear. So my team doesn't work in fear.
Okay.
Also, in terms of respect, there shouldn't be respect in terms of fear. Respect should be coming from within.
Right.
And that is the reason I give a comfort to my team that mistakes can happen.
Right.
But if they share with me, we will find some solution for it and ensure that everything goes well.
Right. You were probably a teacher when I was a student. So, how was professional development, the big keyword that we all talk about? You also mentioned about training your teachers. So, how was it then, and how are you trying to change that while you have now come on the principal side? What are you, and how are you supporting your teachers? If you could share, like, one of the workshops or something that really took you by and you said, no, this is something that my teachers have to learn.
So, as a teacher, definitely I had the opportunity of going for some sessions and workshops, and which has helped me to understand that every time I attend a workshop, I take something out of it. And I think that is the reason I plan for sessions for my teachers, so that something or the other they can benefit and bring it to the development of the child that they cater to on a day-to-day basis.
Uh, if you could share any one of the latest workshops that you've come across and you felt, I wish I had learned this when I was a teacher. Did you come across a workshop like this?
So rather than latest, I should say I'll talk about one workshop which I attended, and there they literally made us play like children. Get the experience of how, when you become a child, if you can play, imagine how the children will enjoy.
Right.
On similar grounds, I feel we implemented this with the school teachers. Like they have to forget their age and play with the children so that the child feels more connected. And that has really helped.
Right. So this is something you felt that had you known this earlier, this would have, your journey would have been different then.
Definitely, yes. I was a very strict teacher. I was an English teacher, but a very strict teacher. So I felt probably if I would have been like that time, I would have been able to make difference in the lives of many more students.
Sure. No, we spoke about how principals now take around, they go about in the school. How is your rapport with the learners? Because I remember back in the day, for us, principal means, okay, this is someone you have to be a little scared of, or we wouldn't go have like a candid conversation, or we would just be a good morning ma'am or a good morning sir kind of a thing. How do you think it is now, and how is it for you?
So going back to my school days, I didn't have the courage to face my principal. Forget about facing the principal. The very sight of the principal, we used to rush to the class.
Right.
Gone are the days. Now the generation has changed. Children have changed. And as I have also grown in these years, I have experienced that the more close you are with the children, the more good rapport you have with the children, children come and speak a lot. And they do share their worries, they do share their problems with us as well. I also have lunch with principal.
Right.
So I have children coming to my cabin during the lunch break, and they sit and we have a very informal talk.
Right.
I try to understand from them if they face any problems, any difficulties, or what is their expectation from the school, because that also helps me to ensure whether we are able to give them or what we can do the best for them.
Right. Have you come across any funny conversation when you were having lunch with the kids on one of the days and they shared something very interesting and you were like, okay, that's something.
Very recent experience was I had my grade 7 and grade 8 students, around 6 to 7 students who came, and they were having lunch, and the conversation just started, and they were good students, in fact. Good in the sense, right, studies wise they are good, of course. But I was really surprised when one student started telling, ma'am, can we do this in the class so that the children who face difficulty and the children, those who are not confident in speaking, they will also get an opportunity to come and speak. That really touched me, and I shared with my team, with the vice principal and teachers, see the level of students now.
Right.
They have also started giving us suggestions, and at times we should understand why not go to their level and pick up what they want from us.
Right.
That was a recent example, a recent instance, in fact, where I feel that is something which we really need to work on now.
So giving them a voice, you felt was this lunch is kind of working like hearing their voice and knowing what they want, and which is further helping you create an environment for the kids which they feel heard.
Definitely yes, definitely yes. Giving a voice to students is very, very important now, because I tell the teachers when I go for the class observation, I will not be observing the lesson from the point of view of how much the teacher is speaking. I will be observing how much time you have given to the children to speak, to interact.
Right. I'm going to come back to the point where we spoke about how, we were scared of our principals. That was somewhere I feel to kind of bring in the discipline that a principal came or any teacher would come, and we used to automatically get into our attention mode that okay, no, there's a teacher around or there's a principal around. So there was the discipline then and versus the discipline now. What is your take on that?
So I think the entire difference will be between whether you command respect or you demand respect.
Okay.
So that's the difference. I think the whole story revolves around these words.
Mm-hmm.
So gone are the days. I remember when I worked as a teacher as well, we were not allowed to sit and chat during our free lectures.
Right.
It was that sort of environment which I have also experienced as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe if you give freedom to the children to speak, there are many things which we have come across. One of the schools where I worked, I have come across children coming and sharing their problems with us.
Right.
And obviously, the mental health issues definitely have taken a toll. And as school, when we give voice to children and we give them that comfort to speak, we definitely can help them in many ways.
Right. So, how do you try to balance, or where do you draw that line? Say, yes, we have a conversation with the students and utilize our whatever free time and try to know or understand the child a little better. How could one draw a line? Okay, this is where we need to stop, because kids can tend to, sometimes consider this as a casual approach and misuse this power of having the conversation. So, how could we draw a line?
I have never come across where children, because children at the end they know they are interacting with the principal.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than drawing a line, they know where the conversation has to end. Or we know to what level we can talk.
Okay.
See, we are not interested in what is happening at the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Other side in the sense at home.
Right.
But we are definitely interested in if something is affecting the child,
Right.
where we can pitch in, where we can get our school counselors, where we can get a team of teachers who can really come ahead to help the students.
Ma'am, lately we've been coming across a lot of safety concerns in school. If you notice the news, we've heard of 2 episodes that have come across in terms of child safety. How do you make sure that the safety is being taken care of? Have you taken any measures for the same?
So, in terms of child safety for each and every school, I think that is at the topmost priority. And definitely, while hiring people, that is a major challenge. But while hiring people, if we take utmost care, that will definitely make a difference. Like for pre-primary and primary years, we don't have any male staff. But my teachers in the secondary section, I'm not talking about the latest thing, but even in the past, wherever I worked, we also have to give a comfort to the male staff because now things have gone so bad that they also work in fear.
Hmm.
So giving them that comfort, making them understand about the norms,
Right.
about the various acts, give them that particular idea to what level they can be close to the children. And very often I tell the teachers, they can be friendly with the students, but they cannot be friends.
That's a very good point, actually. We always, sometimes in that conversation, tend to miss out on the part that yes, we are friendly, but we are not your friends. So that if the teacher conveys to a student, then they know where they can end the
Definitely, the
conversation.
line is already drawn.
Right, right.
We
that's
don't need
that's
to
a good
tell.
line
Yeah.
that one could take away.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, we spoke about voice. That how much is a child supposed to share, not to share. So, how much voice is too much voice?
As long as it is not affecting others,
Mm-hmm.
it is not too much noise. But definitely at individual level, if the child finds a comfort in the teacher or in the school counselor to share any difficulties that he or she has been facing, like sharing one instance in one of my earlier organizations where I worked, we have also come across students who have come and opened up in front of the school teachers,
Right.
which the parents were not aware of. So this has also helped us in understanding that if a child behaves in a particular manner or not up to the mark, there can be a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And with experiences, we have come across students whom we were able to help them, to change them and to groom them with the support of the parents.
Right.
But I understand it's very difficult at times to convince the parents, to make them understand that if the child has gone through some problems, it has to be taken seriously, and how we can help the child for the same.
Right. This makes me think about the mental health of the kids. So, are there any measures, or what do you think is becoming the most important thing at the moment for every teacher to understand about the mental health aspect?
See, mental health issues have to be taken care very seriously in schools. And having a counselor in the school, I think it has to be mandatory in every school. Because we as school, we have practiced this method of sending the counselor to the class. So we conduct sessions for the children in the class on a weekly basis and see the involvement of the children as well. So if a child gets comfort with a teacher, with the counselor, the child comes up to discuss.
Right.
And definitely, coming back to the point where I said teachers need to be trained. So it is not necessary that the teachers need to be trained only for the subjects that they teach. They need also to be trained on how to handle children, how to identify if a child is facing some problem. Obviously, the behavior of the child in the class speaks a lot. And if you are able to identify that, I think it will go a long way in helping the child to
Right.
come out of the trauma or the past experience, any bad experience. And definitely, with the support of the parents, we will be in a better position to help them.
You mentioned parents. Have parents always been very open to this kind of conversations, or you feel that there is a lot of conversation or a back and forth that goes behind uh, bringing something in action for the child?
See, it is not easy for a parent to first accept the fact that the child has not spoken about these things to the parents and rather spoken or disclosed these things to the school teachers or the counselor. So, first and foremost, we have to give a comfort to the parents that if the child has shared these things with someone, let us take it positively and how we can help the child to come out of this.
Right.
Definitely, yes. We have come across, in fact, I have come across some instances where a child has narrated about any bad experience that has happened in the past after 3 years.
Okay.
And it was very challenging for me to convince the parent to accept the fact what the child was narrating. Because at times parents also take it very lightly. No, my child watches this series and that series, and probably might be thinking in that way. But we should also give a very patient ear. That is very, very important.
What do you think are the causes of these mental health issues that are arising now?
In most of the cases, what I find definitely the parents, working parents, they go in the morning, come in the evening. And general one sentence that I talk to all the parents is at times we should also say no to our children. Because parents feel that they are showering their love and affection to the child when a child demands something and parent gives easily things. So if a parent has a conversation, a time where they sit together and have a talk with the child, that will help. I think that is missing. That
Okay.
is something which is missing now, because of which the children are not sharing the things with their parents.
Do you feel that children feel that they have to be strong or they have to be independent, and that's why they don't share such instances with parents?
See, rather than telling that they want to be independent, I feel there's a peer pressure as well.
Okay.
So peer pressure, because of peer pressure also, they feel there are certain things that they should not share and share only with their friends. So somewhere if we are able to draw a line in making the children understand that there are few things which they have to open up in front of their parents. They need to speak. And of course, counseling the parents as well,
Right.
that they need to give time to speak to the children.
If you could throw a little light on the age factor that we are looking at over here, that which grade are we considering? Is it for the secondary kids or the primary kids, or where? Where do we identify such cases more?
See, since you have been a teacher, I don't know whether you have observed this. When the child is in pre-primary, parents get involved in all the activities. When the child goes to primary, the involvement comes down. But when the child comes to a middle school or a secondary school, we find the parents hardly visit the school. I think the phase, the teenagers basically,
Right.
when these children enter into their teens,
Hmm.
that is where the parents have to be very particular, where they can really give time to these children. And that will definitely make a difference.
Right.
I'll share one instance. I came across one student, one girl, who was very focused into her studies, co-curricular activities, everything. All of a sudden, this girl started moving towards, the latest trend was of those K-dramas, BTS and K-dramas. Yeah, but then when I interacted with that girl, that how did you get into this? So the answer was, my friends talk about it and they ask me, oh, you don't know this? Then you are not going with the trend. And that is the reason I got into it.
Okay.
So when I was talking about the peer pressure, I mean, this was just a simple example which I
Right.
would like to share with you.
So
and
the
this has happened.
FOMO is real in the teenage. It comes out to the surface like
Very
it has
true.
to be taken care of.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't say children shouldn't have friends. They should have friends. But then the parents will also have to ensure that there is a clarity, there is a transparency, and there is a talk with their ward. Like, who are their friends?
Right. So, would you say that the parents now should be friends to their kids? Would that be an appropriate line?
So, what I told about teachers, they can be friendly, but they cannot be friends.
Right.
I think there has to be a line. Gone are the days when parents or the school principals were very, very strict and children used to listen to them. I think the comfort, being empathetic, giving them that comfort with a patient here, that they need to sit and talk.
Right. When I was a child, I remember my mother coming with me on open house and she would say that इसको मारो नहीं सुनती है तो मारो and make sure that she listens. So do you come across such parents in today's day and how do you deal with that?
So there are variety of parents. Obviously, we have parents coming to us and telling us that children don't listen to you, please talk to them.
Right.
There have been instances when parents come and say, ma'am, आपका बच्चा समझ के इसे थप्पड़ लगा दीजिए.
Right.
But I need to talk to the parents and make them understand. We cannot do that as per norms.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not necessary that you can teach a child by slapping. So gone are the days when you used to say, spare the rod and spoil the child.
Right.
Now things have been different. We need to ensure this generation of children are very sensitive.
Hmm.
And we need to ensure how we handle them well.
Right. So we've been talking about parents and we've been talking about students. What about your teachers? How do you make sure that your thoughts align with your teachers and making sure that the same is being portrayed in the class as well?
So coming to the teachers, I think I'm blessed that I have good teachers. I have worked in different schools and probably I was being able to build that rapport with my team of teachers also to make them understand what I feel. And obviously, I'm also open for suggestions. I give a voice to my teachers also. It's not that I speak and my teachers just listen.
Right.
So at times, I take suggestions from teachers also because it's always a process of learning when we handle children.
Correct.
And yes, we frequently have meetings where we sit and discuss wherever possible in case of certain students. Sometimes the meetings are confidential meetings where we don't want to get things disclosed to everyone. But in general, definitely we share. Like even after an open house, what you said, we do have meeting, a follow-up meeting or the feedback. What is the feedback? What are the parents' expectations? And then with talks, with discussions, we are able to, in fact, I'm able to talk to my teachers and make them understand that we are here for children. Very, very important.
Right.
Yeah, and we need to ensure how we give them that comfort without compromising on discipline, of course.
Right. So teachers have students. So for your teachers, are you like the teacher and are they the students? And you have a bunch of notorious ones, some very serious ones, and some who try to mend ways. How do you deal with that?
You said it right. Of course, no two teachers are same. Everyone is unique in his or her own way. And rather than I being a teacher for them, I make them comfortable by telling that probably I'm the head of the family
Right.
and that family has to work together. Obviously, everyone is different, and let us try to appreciate each other's talents. Let us try to appreciate and motivate each other and support each other
Right.
because the process of learning should not end.
Correct. Uh, Ma'am, I'm going to talk about a bit of your leadership skills now. I read about you that you've received a lot of recognition. You've received awards, the Global Principal Award, Progressive Principal Award, Exemplary Women in Education Award. These are a few awards that you've received. So if you could define some moments in your leadership journey, how has that been for you?
So, first and foremost, I believe in the fact that a principal alone cannot run a school. She needs support. A principal can plan things, but we need a team who can implement that.
Correct.
And I strongly believe in empowering my teachers. I want the second in line to be ready. And that is the reason we give opportunities to teachers to become a group leader for activities or for groups that we create. So that every teacher, turn by turn, gets the opportunity. Of course, we identify them who has better skills as compared to other. And accordingly, we allot, in fact, I allot them some position so that they can lead a small group to begin with.
Sure. What do you think makes a good leader?
I think transparency. Transparency and firmness is, of course, required, but at the same time, be empathetic. Because teachers also need support.
Right. What are some steps or mindset necessary to grow in the role of a principal?
I think for a principal, or for that matter for me, I don't go to school with a preset mindset
Okay.
because every day is a challenge.
Right.
We come across situations where at times we cannot stick to our norms. This is what is required. At times we have to go out of the way to help.
Right.
We need to go out of the way to consider someone.
Okay, now this is a very important one. How do you align the board expectation, the school expectation, or the kid expectation together as a principal? Because you must be feeling like a sandwich at this particular point that you have to cater to all these important stakeholders of the school. So, how do you manage that?
I think if we plan the things properly, now coming to the guidelines or norms that we get from the council or from the education department, there's no compromise on that. And same way, if the expectation from the management, the expectation from the parents, and obviously teachers, no doubt, children are at the priority, of course, ensuring that we don't compromise on certain things and zero tolerance in terms of certain things. If we are able to draw a line between that, I think we can do things in a better way. And obviously parents, of course. I have experienced if we involve parents in some activities, in the programs that we have in the school for the children. That too to a particular limit, of course, we cannot cross the lines. Taking the parents also in confidence and making them as team members at times also helps because they understand the other side of the story.
Ma'am, you spoke about parent involvement, and now we've heard that schools are more about listening to parents, and the school is only listening to them. What is your take on that?
So it is not schools are only listening to parents. Schools do listen to parents.
Right.
And they have started listening to parents, which was not the fact earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listening to what level, that is also a point.
Right.
As I said, we involve the parents in certain activities so that they understand how things go. And at the same time, making them understand for us, every child is important in the school. Because when it comes to listening to parents, it should not be only few parents.
Right.
When we take decision as a school, we have to take in favor of all the students and not in favor or in support of only a few.
Correct.
Because there are parents who are busy and who are not able to make it.
Right.
That doesn't mean those children will not get the attention.
True.
So we need to understand, or I should say, I have to decide, I have to understand myself first to what level I can allow the parents for certain things without compromising on the guidelines of the education department,
Right.
without compromising on the policies that are set by the management, and without compromising on my teachers' well-being also. Yeah.
You spoke about teacher well-being. If you could elaborate a little bit on that, and how does it look like at your end?
I'll give you a simple example when parents come with, suppose a teacher has not come to school for the week. So the first thing that comes from the parent at times, which I have experienced of course earlier, your teacher is absent in the school. So we have to make them understand the teacher is also a human being. A teacher can also fall sick. A teacher can also have some problem at home. A teacher's child can also fall sick. So let us try to understand the difficulties of the teachers as well.
Right.
So that is something I think which parents don't give a thought. For them, a teacher is absent. Of course, we don't leave the class vacant. We have teachers who substitute and handle the children.
Correct.
And of course, do some activities for them.
Right. Share your thoughts on absenteeism of teacher in the school. And you mentioned about substitutions, but how is it, how the approach is like? Now you must be having some Gen Z teachers joining you, so their approach is going to be very different from the teachers what were there like 10 years back. So how are you handling absenteeism then?
Yeah, definitely talking about the Gen Z teachers, of course, who believe in enjoying life. It's not that the earlier generation teachers did not enjoy life, but their way of enjoying life is different. So definitely I have come across, when teachers take leave on a Friday or they take leave on a Monday. So I have been able to convince them to a certain extent to make them understand, like if a principal is absent or if an admin staff is absent, it will not make much difference. But if a teacher remains absent, so many children get affected.
Right.
So their role is more important in a school. Obviously, we don't call them. Definitely, I ensure that I don't cut down on their vacations or their leaves. But at the same time, I also make them understand that they need to understand they have selected a profession which demands sincerity, regularity.
Right. The parents' expectations from teachers have been increasing, I would say. So how does that impact their well-being?
In terms of parents' expectation, in some cases, parents feel the child has been sent to the school, fees are paid, the school has to take care of everything.
Right.
So I do try to tell parents, like, out of 24 hours, how many hours your child is in the school? A teacher can definitely contribute in his or her own way in the number of hours that a child is in the school. 6.5 hours on an average.
Right.
But what is after that?
Hmm.
So is it that teacher has to go out of the school and
Right.
take the lead in this, which is not possible. Not possible. So definitely yes, we frequently keep PTM so that the parents come and discuss. But somewhere the parent also has to understand it is not just by sending the child to the school, everything will be done. We will definitely do things
Right.
to the best of our abilities, but definitely the role of parent is also important.
Sure. So, uh, correct me if I'm wrong, you would be like a shield for your teachers in terms of handling such queries from the parents.
Rather than telling I am a shield for my teachers, I think I am sitting at a place where I have to be a shield for everyone,
Right.
even for myself. Because I cannot take decisions in haste which will go against the policy of the management.
Right.
I cannot take decisions in haste which will go against my teachers, or for that matter, the parents and the students as well. I have to give myself peace of mind before I speak, before I take decisions.
Right. Fair. So, ma'am, we've come to the last stage of our podcast, which is a little bit of a fun element. We'll call it a rapid fire because it's a this or that kind of a question. So, you have to choose one of the choices that I share with you.
Right.
So, are we ready?
Yeah.
Morning assembly or after school clubs?
Morning assembly.
Staff meeting or parent orientation?
Both.
Library or playground?
Playground.
Classroom observation or student counseling?
Student counseling.
Coffee or chai?
Sometimes plain water.
Email communication or face to face conversation?
Face to face conversation.
Annual day or sports day?
Both.
Paper planner or a digital calendar?
Digital calendar.
Strict discipline or gentle guidance?
Situation based.
PTA meeting or teacher training day?
Both.
Early mornings or late evenings?
Early mornings.
Art integration or STEM focus?
Both.
Formal sari or smart casuals?
Situation based.
Individual achievement or team success?
Team success.
Rule book or open dialogue?
Open dialogue.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
This was great. One last message for the parents who are watching this episode.
So, for the parents, a simple message: we are for the children. A teacher is a teacher, and a teacher's success is in the success of the child.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing that.
Thank you.
While society often measures successes by averages, Dr. Asha redefines it. Earning her PhD, leading a school where she focuses on the holistic development of the child. Inspiring, isn't it?
What I took from her is that be it a parent-child relation or a teacher-student relation, the children speak their heart out, and all you have to do is truly listen. It was
True.
her message, loud and clear.
Absolutely, and I totally resonate with her thought of empowering teachers beyond academics to actually see deeper student growth.